After working with people for many years, help plan their retirement plans, I can say the retirement plans come down to three important things: save more, invest more, accumulate more. And look, that matters. After sitting across the table with people who are about to retire, one of the biggest secrets to a great retirement is not about adding more. It's actually about strategically letting go of the right things at the right time. Here's why that matters. A lot of people spend decades building up their life. The big house, the cars, the toys, the side income, and all of that made complete sense while you were raising a family, commuting every day, and living that chapter of life. But retirement is a different chapter entirely. And what worked before could quietly start working against you if you're not paying attention. And I know no one wants to hear the boat they saved up for is quietly becoming the problem. Trust me, I get it. I've had those conversations and they are not always easy. But I'd rather have an honest conversation with you now than watch you drag things into retirement that are costing you more than are giving you back. So by the end of this video, I'm gonna walk you through 5 specific things that most people approaching retirement should seriously consider selling or letting go of. And I'm also going to give you a simple 3-question framework at the end that you can use to decide whether something should stay or let go in your current situation. And I want to be upfront about something. This is not about deprivation. This is not about giving up everything you love. This is about optimization. This is about making room for what matters the most so that your retirement feels like freedom, not a different kind of stress. Because the happiest retirees that I've worked with are not the ones with the most stuff, because they figured out what the difference is between what they own and what actually owns them. And that distinction right there can completely change how your retirement feels. Number 1 is the oversized house. Now, while having an oversized house can be fun and it works really well when you're actually having a family and having multiple kids, and it makes room for everyone to have their own room, when you're in retirement, it just feels empty. And so a lot of people like to downsize. The one key piece on the financial side is I normally don't see it actually adds that much value as far as growth and equity to them, because normally people will actually move from one house to the other and it'll be about the same. They might gain a little bit as far as financial gain, but the real benefit comes from actually being able to enjoy the house they're in just a little bit more, because the feeling of it being empty isn't there. And a lot of times you actually improve the house, because if you went from a very large house to a smaller house and it's about the same cost, it's going to be a little nicer. The finishes are nicer, the things are nicer, where it is a little nicer, and people just tend to enjoy their retirement that much more. Number 2, the toys you don't use, the excess car, the extra vacation home. They decided to let go at the right time when the house was not benefiting their life anymore, because it was just sitting there vacant. They were having to pay the HOA, they're having to clean it. Every time they went up, it was more of a chore than it was an enjoyment. And this can happen on any of the things I mentioned. The boat that's sitting there not being used, the motorcycle, as I said before, or the excess car or the sports car that was super fun, but now just is sitting there. You know, it was fun, it was great memories, and you're gonna keep those, but you don't always have to keep that asset. Number 3, stop paying for your adult kids. Now, this one's a hard one because no one likes to see their kids fail, and every parent I know, myself included, wants to see their kids succeed. The hard truth is this, is that if you keep rescuing them, you're doing 2 things. 1, you're ruining your retirement account, and you aren't actually allowing them to fail, which will help them in the long run. I've had too many clients who constantly will call me and ask me for $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 at a pop to fund their kids for whatever reason it might be: a failing business, a house change, they got laid off, their kids need something. Whatever it might be, it all is sad. I hate having these conversations because they are not fun. But the fact is that you saved for your retirement, and your retirement is not helping your kids succeed. Your retirement is what you save for, and it's for you to actually enjoy. So it's a hard truth. It's a very difficult conversation, but it is a very worthwhile one to have. Number 4 is your work identity. And this one's hard because it's psychological, in the sense of that we all associate who we are based on what we do. And when it comes to retirement, it happens like a switch, in the sense of one day you were someone, you were important, people reported to you, or whatever it was, and that was where you got some value from who you are, but that's not actually who you are. You are much more than that. You're much more than your identity for your work life. So it is a transition. It is something you're going to have to work through. I've seen many clients go through it, And as they kind of lead into retirement, the ones that I have found have the most success are the ones that are thinking about what are they going to do when that day comes that they finally retire, that last day. What are they going to do the next day, right? And the ones who have a plan of that they're going to volunteer, they're going to go hiking, they're going to meet with friends on a regular basis and have breakfast or coffee or whatever it might be with a group of guys or a group of ladies. However it works for you, making sure they kind of maintain a routine into retirement are the ones I find the most success and end up getting to the point in retirement where they're like, this is awesome and I love it. Because without a doubt, they go into retirement and every single one of them has that transition. And as they get to the point where like, this is great, I should have done it years sooner, but it is that transition phase that takes a little bit of time. You don't want it to take 2 years. You'd prefer it to take maybe 2 months and be prepared for it when you get there. Lastly, number 5, aspirations. And this is a tough one. And this isn't me saying, hey, don't try to improve your life, don't try to improve things. What this is saying once you reach a certain level of lifestyle financially, that's the lifestyle you need to stay within to have a successful retirement. I always like to use the analogy when it comes to hotels, because I think most people get it. If you're the kind of person that's constantly stayed throughout your life at Marriott's, that's fantastic. It's a great hotel. It's wonderful. You aren't the person in retirement who's going to be able to stay at a Four Seasons or a Ritz-Carlton. That's not in the same ballpark. That's jumping up. If you were the person who reached the level where you're staying at Ritz-Carltons and Four Seasons, obviously that's a different level, but you also aren't the person who can go buy second homes that are multi-millions, right? Like you're not going to buy a $6 million home out there. There are different levels of lifestyle. Everyone's at their own level. There isn't a competition to it. It's just whatever level you are at is the level you need to stay at in retirement. It's one of the things that I've seen happen with people is they reach retirement and now they want to reward themselves or they want to travel more, they want to do things, which is 100% what you should do. But you still have to do it within kind of your lifestyle, right? And so you don't want to increase what that lifestyle is as far as things that cost more. You want to stay and do the experiences and the retirement within your level of the lifestyle that you hit before you retired. Now that we've talked about the 5 things that you should sell or let go of in retirement, let's dive into the 3-question framework you can ask yourself before getting into retirement. Question 1, does this still serve my new life or does this serve my old life? So when you think about things, you want to actually make sure that what you have is actually serving you today and where you are going in the future, right? Having that large house before served you fantastically in your old life when you had kids and you needed everyone to have a room and you wanted to be the house that friends came over with. But now the kids are grown, they're out of the house. So maybe that house isn't serving you anymore and it's just a burden because now you have to clean it, dust it. No one wants to do that. So the fact is like that piece alone isn't serving your new life. This goes on with all the toys, the cars, the houses, everything out there. You want to consider, is this really adding value to me right now and where I am and what I want my life to look like in retirement? Question 2, what is this actually costing me? Now think about those fun toys you have, the cars, the motorcycle, that extra home you have. All of those come with constant expenses that you have to pay for. Insurance, taxes, upkeep, maintenance, all of those things you're going to have to pay for whether you use them or not. And so you want to realize, based on question 1, is it adding value? But 2, how much is it costing you? If it is costing you an enormous amount, you might want to consider letting it go because that's just eating away into retirement and that leaves less money for other things that might be more valuable to you or that you actually cherish more. Question 3, and this one's my favorite. If I let this go, what becomes possible? I'll use an example on this one. I had a client that had a second home that they were using but weren't using it that much anymore. And they had a desire that they wanted to actually travel internationally. They had a house, it was nice, it was wonderful, but they weren't using it and they wanted to go do something else. So what did they do? They sold the house and it gave them the ability to actually go explore the world because that was what funded their ability to travel international, to see the things they hadn't seen before, and to have memories that they wouldn't be able to create if they hadn't cleared up that extra cash flow to fund these experiences. So It's one of my favorite ones because it allows for the experiences that really make retirement memorable. Look, retirement is not about deprivation. I want to be really clear about that. It's about optimization. It's about making room for what matters the most by realizing what no longer serves you. When you think about it that way, it's actually a really exciting thing. You've worked hard your entire life. You've earned this next chapter. The question is if you're going to drag everything from the last chapter into this one, or if you're going to be actually intentional about what you want to take with you into this next stage. The happiest retirees I know are not the ones with the most stuff. They're the ones who have learned the difference between what they own and what owns them. And once you understand that difference, everything starts to shift. And if you are getting close to retirement, if you want to have a conversation about what your actual financial picture looks like, what moves might make sense for your specific situation, there's a link in the description below. Click that and let's start the conversation. I'd love to sit down with you and work through this together. I'll see you there.